And automatically we begin to breathe consciously the sacred in-breath and out-breath. And we understand that it is this breath, the cosmic breath, the divine breath. It is this breath that brought forth creation. It is the breath that connects us to the source of all that is. And in this great cosmic in-breath and out-breath, in the cycles of time, each and every sacred, holy in-breath and out-breath is a step back home. For when one becomes aware of the breath, not simply for the sake of breathing to animate a physical body, but the true understanding of exactly what the breath is. For all creation breathes, and the source of all creation has the cosmic in-breath and out-breath. And as we realize we are part of this cosmic in-breath and out-breath, that it is within us, around us, is the very breath that we breathe. And when we come, beloveds, into this awareness consciousness, it is no longer simply breathing for your day-to-day activity. As we understand and know, the breath is so important. You may be able to do well without water for a couple of days and food, but not the breath. So the breath is sacred. And in this understanding of the breath, we say to you, beloveds, that it is good that you take time out in recognition, ideally, if you can, every day or throughout the day, and become conscious of the in-breath and out-breath, and a higher understanding of what that is and what that is connected to. So we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath. And we are reminded that we breathe the breath of Brahma, we breathe the breath of the divine. And right now we breathe the divine, holy, sacred emanations of the source of all that is, known by many names, but known as the monad by the Gnostics. The eternal Father, the eternal Mother, the limitless light, the source of love. And we see now, as we breathe the breath in our spiritual eye, as our consciousness begins to unfold and move into higher frequency, as each breath now aligns us with the higher parts of ourselves, as we recognize and acknowledge our higher self, the oversoul, as we now in this moment with each and every single in-breath and out-breath acknowledge the higher chakra system that goes beyond the physicality of the physical body. And indeed the chakra system of the sacred earth, the chakra system of this Helios Vesta solar expression. And that the chakra system and the Antakarana are source connection to the source of all that is, always connected. But now through the breath and through conscious intention, through conscious desire and will, we now consciously remember this connection to make it anchored and stronger, even as we operate in a physical, mental, and emotional experience in this three-dimensional world. The breath reminds us that we breathe with the rhythm of the earth. We breathe with the rhythm of the solar system. Indeed, we breathe with the great Hunam Ku. And all of the celestial bodies, the celestial beings. But the cosmic in-breath and out-breath is the one thing that connects all things. And so we allow our breath to go into its comfort rhythm, where easily it flows in and out. And as it moves, we see the great straining lights from the highest of the cosmic realms of light, the celestial realms of the paradise worlds, crystalline worlds, the Shambhala worlds. These worlds emanating that we are a part of through our own higher selves, through our own chakra system, through our own antakarana, that connection, that tube. And as we now begin to focus on this and our connection to the source of all that is, known by many names, as we begin to interconnect with our family of light, who are a part of this source, as we all are, as we now choose to pierce through the illusions and the delusions, to go beyond the gravitational frequency of the physical earth in all of her layers, beyond that, and indeed beyond the great Hunam Ku, beyond the frequencies and expressions of the source of all creation in all its ways, as we move through the great crystalline matrix that connects all things, as our physical, mental, and emotional bodies come into a still point, and our very nervous system begins to move into the higher realms, as our nervous system begins to go and ground into the very heart of Earth Mother, to keep us grounded, to keep us balanced and anchored. And as great roots in a tree, our nervous system extends in both directions. We anchor in deeply and around the great central core of our own Earth Mother, and the great guardians of light that are there in her crystal core. Acknowledge what we are doing. And so we tether deeply to her and through her nervous system, through the roots of the plant kingdom, through the silicon vibration of the great mineral kingdom, through the knowledge of the animal kingdom, and through the remembrance of the human kingdom. And as we can see our own nervous system, the very neurons, the electrical impulses that run through our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, that are part of the higher strains of light, from indeed, beloveds, from the source that is love, that is light. And so no longer do we see ourselves as being barricaded from that, but indeed becoming and realizing and aligning with that, as we have the codes within ourselves. It has always been there, will always continue to be. And so that is that aspect of us that is infinite and eternal. And we choose now to bring in this frequency of awareness, to integrate it more directly into our physical, mental, and emotional world. Even as we operate within it, we are no longer bounded by it. We choose to rise like the phoenix into the higher dimensions and realms and frequencies of light, to the source. And as we do, the celestial peace and balance moves in and through all aspects of our being. Like great Buddhas, we are in the stillness. And we know that each in-breath and out-breath, in alignment with the cosmic in-breath and out-breath, moves us energetically through the upper chakra systems, through the antakarana, and as it does, it cleans and clears and purifies and aligns. For we are connected to the great monad, the great emanation of all that is. We consciously, willingly embrace, connect, adjust, and allow this flow of divine light, Strahline light, from the higher codes of information, understanding, and wisdom, flowing in and through the many dimensions, the many realms, the many, many expressions of the divine, of all that is, flowing, moving through crystalline matrices, through the great chakra systems, through the great antakarana. And as it moves within our nervous system as you begin to feel it within your body. And so you consciously breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, choosing and willing to make this grand connection, bringing back, anchoring more deeply the awareness of the oneness of the source and you. As it moves within this nervous system of the physical biology, moves through the biology into the earth, from the earth, moving into the biology, and from the biology, bringing forth the divine, holy, sacred codes of the sacred earth, moving in through our chakra system, moving in through our nervous system, moving through the antakarana, through the multitude of expressions, all in alignment with the source, which is emanating unconditional love and a limitless light. We choose to bathe and be in this moment of this eternal now. And we simply hold our positions, breathe consciously, experience the movement of heaven and earth as we hold the alchemy, the nodal point, the connection. Breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath. Allow the grace to move in and through. As you breathe the sacred in breath and out breath, you feel and sense the expansion of who you are, the oneness of all things. For you cannot be contained. You are the source. You are the oneness of all creation. Feel your nervous system as it begins to radiate in a higher frequency, as each and every holy sacred in-breath and out-breath expands the nervous system. Slowly, 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 the thought of the return comes. And as the great radiant ones who've held this container platform that allowed us to have this grace and experience, to serve and to be served through the sacred in-breath and out-breath. In this holy sacred alignment, we know that we move forward with this awareness and this ever-anchored alignment in our day-to-day activities. And so we know, too, it is time to draw in our electromagnetic field as the great Amish Shaddai, the family of light, draw in theirs, allowing us now to contract and intend to be back into our physical, mental, and emotional bodies and grounded physically, mentally, and emotionally to the sacred earth. With new, improved, and upgraded nervous systems connected to the sacred earth and to Source Creator. We integrate this, intend to remember this before we go to sleep, for the process to still continue as it integrates and we move in our day-to-day activities with this upgrade of the nervous system. We prepare ourselves to be back, awake, and alert on the count of 3. 1, 2, take a deep breath in, and 3, we are back, we are awake, we are alert, and we are grounded.